What is up, you guys? Welcome back to another video. My name is Chris, as always with me,
Liam.
And today we are diving into Welcome to Derry, Season 1, Episode 5. We finally got to see Pennywise, or the entity we should call him, in the Pennywise form. And today we're going to be diving into another episode that Liam actually said he thought was the season's finale. So we're going to dive into all those things here today. Before we do, welcome to the channel. We don't pretend to be experts. We just really love discussing entertainment. Think of it like if you just watched the show and then went to work the next day. In the break room or by the water cooler, you share what you like, didn't like, and discuss the things with your friends. That's what we do here. That's what we encourage you to do in the comments below. That's the best way to engage with us. If you enjoyed the video, hit the like button. If you're not already subscribed, go ahead and do so. Join us on this journey by hitting that little notification bell all. That way you never miss a single episode. Without further ado, let's talk about it.
So, the first kid who originally disappeared is back, but it's not him, is it?
Never was, no.
Never was?
No, he's dead.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Pennywise took on the form of Maddie. Yeah. To get the kids to go into the sewer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right, cool. And then the best friend is in the hospital, and I thought it was so fucked up with the nurse. She's like, "If I'll be right outside if there's any trouble."
Yeah. I mean, we find out in this episode that the entity sheds. And part of that shedding process contaminates the groundwater.
Yeah, he mentioned something like a discharge.
Yeah. This is the first time I've ever heard of this.
Yeah.
But basically, from what I understand, is that it's seeping into the groundwater, and that is manipulating the aggression levels of the town's adults.
Mm-hmm.
So the adults in town are already on edge, extra paranoid, like almost like a ticking time bomb, right? He's turning the town into a time bomb, basically.
Pressure cooker.
And so, when we see the scene with the guy trying to shoot, I forgot his name, the gentleman who's currently being Ronnie's dad.
Okay.
He tries to shoot Ronnie's dad. Like you're seeing the town becoming like this pressure cooker. And I think part of that.
And then you see the guard as like turning into Pennywise with the creepy smile through the door.
That is Pennywise. That is not a guard.
Oh, okay.
That person does not. That's why when he looks back, it's gone. That's just Pennywise showing up as that guard to watch and manipulate and instigate the situation.
Oh, so whenever we see the buck teeth is when direct manipulation and he's in the area.
So there's Pennywise is a very powerful entity, right?
Yeah.
On a cosmic level. Can actually warp reality. So a lot of the times, which is kind of cool that they gave us something in this episode that can help us identify. We, as the viewer, never know whether we're dealing with Pennywise or we're dealing with a real person. Right? That's always been kind of like the mystery. It's kind of like the scare tactic that kind of goes with it. It's like, you never really know if you're talking to an adult or a kid, or is it Pennywise pretending to be Maddie, or Pennywise pretending to be a police officer, or Pennywise pretending to be this. But now we have the shard, and the shard glows like a sun bright when Pennywise gets close to it. And whether it's the glow itself or the shard, Pennywise can't approach it, can't go past it, or is afraid of it. Didn't really seem afraid, because he wasn't like fearful of it. He just stopped dead in his tracks and stared at it for a bit with that really creepy face he had with all the teeth and all that. That was cool. And then like slowly backed away from it. So I don't know if he's scared of it or if he just can't approach it. Like he can't, like it's the barrier he can't cross. Right. So I'm confused on that, but I do know that now that Lily has that, our losers club for the series, obviously not the one from the book, but this losers club now has a way to know whether or not Pennywise is around them and manipulating them, because it'll glow. So I thought that was a cool little, character plot hook for us to have, so that we can now kind of identify what's going on with the kids in Derry.
So also, I forgot one part at the very, very beginning when Halloran is like, yeah, we got it, like got the information. But the native dude was going into like a seizure or something like that. I guess it was caused by this, but was it caused by Halloran or was it caused by Pennywise? Or is, because there's so many ways that they can go with it, because it's this powerful being. And the other piece I want to talk about, unless you got something out for this.
Well, I'm going to answer your first question too. Yeah.
Dude, let's do that.
So Halloran's shining ability is why the kid goes into a seizure. To have someone crawl through your mind forcefully hurts. And so that's why he seizes out. Now, there's another element to this that we have still not got confirmation of. Was Pennywise inside Halloran's mind when he went inside of the kid's mind? So, because that smile, when Halloran's asking about the pillars, where are the pillars inside of his mind, he gets that really like wide tooth clown smile, right? Which always we as the viewer associate that with the entity Pennywise. Although he didn't have the buck teeth, the smile was there. The only other thing that really tells us it's Pennywise is the eye starts to go to the side, which we see in this episode with his grandfather when he's inside of his own mind. So what I'm trying to figure out is, did Pennywise attach himself to Halloran, knowing how powerful he is and like wants to keep an eye on him? So the minute that Halloran first goes and finds him, he's attached to him now. So everything he's doing, he's kind of manipulating. Or was that truly just Halloran using his shining ability, gets the false information that sends the entire, army down into the sewers to get killed, down to meet Pennywise in the cistern? Did he do that on his own? And then when he went down into the sewers, because as soon as they go down to the sewers, he says, I feel him. Like, there's something wrong here. Like, he can feel Pennywise's energy already, like, pushing down on them. And he's the only one who can feel it.
Well, he also had a voice whisper to him, hey, Dick.
Yeah. And he immediately is attuned to it. So is that when Pennywise picked up on him? Because Pennywise gets rid of him like that. He is the most powerful person in that team. And so if Pennywise, like, he would be the most formidable one Pennywise would have to fight.
Is he? Or
yes. With that shining ability, with his ability, like, he's one of the more powerful people in that group.
I thought it would have been the Major because
he's garbage. We got to see that thing doesn't even work. He's not supposed to be afraid. He was the most fearful.
What do you mean he was the most fearful?
Dude, that's the one thing that I thought in this episode was like absolute garbage, right? You're supposed to have this character who has this head injury, who it's supposed to affect his ability to be afraid. Meanwhile, he showed genuine terror while in those sewers. When his wife shows up and attacks him, genuine terror. Like, he's afraid. And Pennywise used that against him, almost got him to kill his own son using it. So the Major is not a tool that we thought he was going to be. The Major is useless against Pennywise. The only real power that we have in the episodes right now are the shards. It's the only thing that we have seen without fail stop him. The Major was manipulated like crazy to the point where he almost killed his son and ended up killing his best friend. Halloran got put into his own mind and then unlock the box of all his demons and evils that he's been storing for the last 30 something years. And like, now he's got to deal with all that like baggage and drama. So he's basically sidelined for the rest of the season. He's starting to see dead people and like go deep into his shining ability that like he can't control now. So like, I think what we saw was like, we had these really powerful ideas and they just all got sidelined. Pennywise is just going to come in and just rock shit.
Okay.
That's how I feel. What do you feel?
Damn. All right. So for one of the things I want to talk about was the Major there. To me, it didn't look like he was like afraid or terrified, but it's just the illusion. But the thing that I really want to talk about is the piece that
you think
everything is an illusion, apparently, and this confirmed it. Is this canon now?
He warps reality. It's not an illusion. He warps the reality.
Or a single individual, which in all senses is an illusion.
So one thing you have to think of too is like one way you could look at the entity of Pennywise is like he is one of the most powerful psychic entities you've ever run into. So he can make you see things. He could make you the things you see though are not an illusion because they can physically harm you, physically harm you.
That's why I made the analogy before of Freddy Krueger. That's why I'm asking, is this canon now? Because this showed it with his buddy Paulie when he's there. Paulie's like, I'm not seeing anything, dude.
Yeah.
So does that just confirm what I've been saying since the beginning? That it's just like only the one person can see it, so it is more of an illusion?
Depends on what Pennywise wants to do. He can make more than one person see it. He can make one person see it. He is that powerful.
I guess because
Freddy Krueger is an ant of a villain compared to what Pennywise is. Like, Pennywise would eat Freddy Krueger. Freddy Krueger has nothing on Pennywise. Freddy Krueger attacks you in your dreams.
Mhm.
Pennywise
does the same when you're awake.
he can do it whenever, wherever, doesn't matter, can make you see whatever he wants. His main goal is just to drive up fear and then feed and then hibernate, right? And so I have a very hard time comparing him to Freddy Krueger because Freddy Krueger is such a basic one skill villain. Great for what he does, but so basic one thing. Pennywise is such a gambit of other things. Like the things that Pennywise can do is just so much more.
For example, what else?
So, first of all, Pennywise can take on the form of almost anything, right? Because technically he is energy. He chooses to be the entity of Pennywise the clown, but we've seen him be a giant spider. We've seen him show up as Lily's dad. We've seen him show up as Maddie, perfect identical replication of Maddie until he doesn't want to be, right? What else have we seen Pennywise be able to do?
To me, that's still just illusion.
Okay.
Looks, because it's only the people that he wants to be affected by in a controlled area that he can control. It's not like he's controlling the mass town with that.
No, but he is.
So
Pennywise controls all of Derry
not
at all times.
So they're under his control all the time.
Yes.
So he can be doing this stuff to everyone at the exact same time is what you're saying.
He could. He chooses not to because why would you kill all your food at once? Why would you get rid of your cat? Like that would be like a rancher going out and slaughtering all his cattle and just hoping he had more. Like he knows better. He treats that they're his cattle and he has such control over them that he can literally make the adults look the other way, not see the same things the kids do. I struggle with putting him in such a small box like Freddy Krueger, where Freddy Krueger is just a dream monster.
Yeah, I was comparing the illusion aspect of it. That's what I was comparing.
Okay. Does he use illusion? 100%, but he can also actually warp the reality around you, physically warp your reality. He does it to Lily in this episode. He changes the way the sewers are laid out, so she gets stuck in a dead end. What's his name?
You could do the same thing with an illusion, though. You just make...
So an illusion is a temporary, like I can walk through an illusion. If you put an illusion of a wall in front of me, I can walk through that wall. It's not there. He reality warped that tunnel to the point where there was an actual gate where there wasn't one before. Reality warped, not an illusion. Actual reality changed.
Did they show her try to walk through the gate?
Yeah. She smacks against it.
But that could still be the illusion part.
I'm telling you right now, dude, it's an actual change in reality. There is no illusion there anymore. Yes, seeing ghosts with the wife kind of thing, is that an illusion? I'll agree with you that, yeah, one person is seeing that. So it's a manifestation of one person's mind in fear. Yes. But that's not, you're comparing one of his abilities to all of his abilities. And I'll tell you right now, Pennywise can actually warp the reality, the real world around you and change it permanently. He can do that.
Okay. I guess I need to rewatch then to see what you're seeing because I'm not seeing that.
Or read the book or watch the movies again because you'll see what I'm talking about. Could do some more history of the actual entity itself. And you'll see that like he is not just this illusion-based monster who scares you with things that aren't there. He can make real things show up. He can really make that stuff happen.
So we also have the native council type thing, like getting in the new member, getting them ready, giving all the backstory and the lore, and the old guy trying to rush him along. But we learned some pretty cool stuff about that.
Yeah, it was a nice way for us to get a good lore dump, right? We got to meet like the secret society that we were previously introduced to in like the previous episode that they existed. And then we also get Taniel. That's his name. Taniel finally came to me. We get confirmation that Taniel's been taken in that scene. Yeah, but we also get like the keeper sharing, how all the signs are pointing to this coming to this cataclysmic end, right? Like this thing.
Yeah, and the new person was like, yeah, this is when we get the mass casualties before the end of it.
Yeah, and then another 27 years apiece.
Yes. But we also learned, because they specifically mentioned 2008, where was another incident similar to this, where it was the 5, youngest being 5 and the oldest being 16, I think.
They were talking about this time with those numbers.
Were they?
Yeah. They were talking about this particular awakening. When they started talking about those numbers, they were referring to what they've seen so far since Pennywise has woken back up.
Oh, I must have misunderstood.
I'm pretty sure the one in '08 is the fire, the Easter egg fire that kills hundreds of kids. Pennywise does it. And I think that's going to be next season, where we're actually going to rewind to that and see how that unfolds.
I thought we were going back to the 1920s or whatever.
I think that's season 3, because it's going to go, the way I understand it, and again, I'm just one person reading facts online, and we trust what you read online, right? It's supposed to go back 27 years every season. So, like, we won't get to the 1920s till a little bit later, I would think. No, because we're in the 1950s right now. And was the egg fire in '08? Let me know in the comments below, canonically, is it the Easter egg debacle and then the gangsters, or is it the other way around? I'm confused right now.
So am I. That's why I'm asking these questions.
Yeah. Well, let's see, because these are, if you read the books, you probably get a lot more context into this. But if you watch the movies, you just get Ben talking about it really quick, right? Because Ben spends all his time in the library because he's new to town. He's a loner. He gets all the information. And so he's kind of like the lore dump for the losers, right? He's the one who's like, no, this has been going on a long time. And this happened on this date and this date. So you get all this information secondhand from Ben in the movies. And so, I'm sure in the book too. So it's not like it's like quick, right? So you're not like going through a flashback or like really experiencing it. It's just Ben being like, every 27 years this happens, and this is the last time and this time. So it's hard to remember it all.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, the bus crash.
Yeah, was that Pennywise, do you think?
Had to have been.
Because they said it came out of nowhere, and it was a pretty savage attack. So it had to have been something large to take out a bus. And if it wasn't another vehicle, what else is large enough to do that?
An illusion created by Pennywise.
Which makes me further believe that Kirsch is connected to Pennywise.
Kirsch?
The woman that he's having the affair with.
Oh, okay.
Who's also like helping Lily along. Who this episode went back to being more compassionate and sweet again. The last episode, total sinister vibes I got from her. So now I'm like, okay, which one is it? And is she just playing the part of the innocent housewife when really she's more connected to Pennywise? Because Pennywise does like use humans as a tool to create more chaos. Mm-hmm. He doesn't always just kill them or scare them, as we've seen many, many times throughout like the movies and stuff. Like he'll recruit kids to go do chaos for him. Mm-hmm. So is Lily, when the entity decides to take on Pennywise and ultimately kills Bob Gray, does he make a pact with Lily? And now Lily's out in Derry, kind of being the eyes and ears and emissary of the people for him.
So you think when she made her promise, she tricked her? Trick Lily?
I think that she pushed her to not go down there.
But kids can do opposite.
So because she will go down there. Right. Exactly. Yes. Yeah. I think I agree with you. If that's what you were referring by tricked her, then yes, 100%. She manipulated that situation to like, don't tell me, promise me you're not going to go do that one thing that I really want you to go do.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then also Pennywise being Maddie, manipulating them down there at the same time. So he knows what's going on inside of Derry. Like he's super psychic, like a very psychic person or entity, not a person. And so it makes sense that he wants the army to go down there because he wants to get free. So he does want them to find these pillars. But at the same time, I think he's also looking for a way to like strengthen himself up and get more fear. So I have a feeling that he manipulated that entire situation so the military and the kids were down there at the exact same time,
Yeah.
creating this like mass chaos that he was going to use to feed on one of the kids, but the shard saved Lily.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So can we talk about the selfless act Joey did?
Yeah.
He knew they were real because he could actually see them this time, but
Yeah.
he stepped in front of the bullet
Yeah.
to save the Major's kids or kid.
What do you want to talk about? I mean, it's pretty straightforward. It's a soldier.
I just want to give him credit. That's
Yeah.
all.
Yeah.
He deserves that. I know it's a cliche and a trope in movies and shows, but I just wanted to call out his little heroic moment since we won't be seeing much of him again. Although we might, because at the end they showed him as the ghost when Halloran came out of sewer.
My biggest issue with how this season is going is how they portray the military. They have that one sergeant shooting a handgun 18 times. What handgun do you know has 18 bullets in it?
Not aside from modern, I don't know.
In the 1950s.
Yeah, I don't think there was one.
And then you have the death scene where the buddy sacrifices himself. It made no sense to me. I get why it happened because now there's more stakes and it's more dramatic and it's more emotional. I get it. The amount of reaction time it would have taken him to get in front of that bullet before that gun went off, it doesn't exist. He would have never gotten there in time. He was still reaching out for that weapon when he pulled the trigger.
I honestly didn't think he got shot in that scene based on how it was portrayed. I thought he knocked it up in the air and he missed.
That's
I thought
the
that was
only
it.
logically, that would have been the only thing that he could have done fast enough to stop a bullet from hitting that kid.
Mm-hmm.
He's not the Flash. He doesn't move that fast. So for me, I get why they did it, but like knowing firearms, being former military, like I get like none of that made sense. Like none of that made sense, like logically. But I get that it had to happen for the Major then to start to ask more questions and be more on the side of the kids and things.
And for Halloran to see him.
Yeah, that's who. Yeah.
I'm sorry, I get these heavy eye rolls. I physically do them. When Halloran was walking out of that sewer just after the general was talking about, yeah, if I know Halloran, he's the only one that can make it out if anyone could. And then they show him crawling out of the sewer. Those scenes just give me the biggest eye rolls.
Because it's just too on the nose, right? It's
Yeah.
just like, can you spoon feed me that anymore? But the shining ability gives you just naturally without Pennywise interfering, you can see dead people, right? In The Shining, he sees dead people, right? Like the little boy's seeing dead people everywhere. So I think Halloran always had the ability to see dead people. I think what we're really going to have to deal with now is that much like any person in life, if all you're ever doing is shoving down your fears and your negative emotions deep down in a box and just locking them up, eventually that's going to pop up and you're going to have to deal with that. And I think that's what we're going to see Halloran dealing with, is the fact that like he hasn't really learned to cope with this, like his life and what he can do. He's just kind of been band-aiding it for a long time. And now he's going to have to try to actually navigate it. And that's going to be hard to do.
So I had a few other issues in that scene with Halloran seeing the ghost of Paulie. So when they come out of the sewer, for some reason I've got this sinking feeling that I didn't connect it to his shining ability. I thought it was the only reason he saw it is because he's now in the forest or the actual cage of it or Pennywise.
Yeah.
And that's why he's seeing Paulie walking away, because he's now in this purgatory or cage that Pennywise's domain is.
So I don't think Pennywise is trapped in the forest anymore, because we've seen him multiple times in town.
No. He's still not his full strength, though.
He's definitely not full strength. But I have a suspicion that the West Forest, or the West Woods that they call it, where he's supposed to be contained, isn't necessarily like holding him. Because he's able to affect people outside of the woods.
I feel like that's where he might be his strongest, though.
Okay.
Because he's got less, and well, the way I think of it is he would have to expend energy to do little things outside that reach, but when it's in the place where he's supposed to be trapped, he doesn't have to expend that much energy or focus, so he can use his abilities to a much stronger degree.
I figured it out. You and I have been having this debate on whether or not Pennywise's magic is illusionary or reality shifting. I think it's both. I think inside of the circle, he's more powerful and he can do way more. He can change your reality. He can change the way the sewers look. He can actually warp the forest, make things way different than they were. But he cannot physically push that power past the barrier. Mm-hmm. And so all he can do is mess with your mind psychically. And that's why the people in Derry are seeing things that aren't there. But when you're actually in his domain, he can actually trap you.
That makes so much sense.
I think that's what it is.
We worked it out.
I think that's what it is. But again, this is an entity that we, as the viewer inside this show, are slowly getting the lore dump. Mm-hmm. And the only other way you would know this is actually to have read all of Stephen King's work. Because for the way I understand it is it itself, the book, very, very large book with a lot of information inside of it. But everything inside the King universe is connected. And so you would actually have to read Dark Tower, and then you would also have to read The Shining and Doctor Sleep and all these other ones to actually have all the information that makes Pennywise make sense. When you first saw Maddie emerge from the tent, did you think he was him?
I didn't think it was a real boy.
Yeah, I didn't think so either. I was like, based on it, chapter 1, we saw Georgie a whole bunch after Georgie died, and it was never Georgie.
The only thing that crossed my mind in that scene was, well, clearly he's dead, but they really want us to believe that he's back for the viewer's sake, and that's the closest thing I got to actually believing it was him.
Yeah. What really started to, I was doubtful the whole time, but then when they took all the volume and went into the tunnel, and everyone's like tripping and kind of losing themselves a little bit, and he's just super focused still, I'm like, he's not real. He's not a human. He's not who he says he is.
Yeah, they took so much value more.
For someone who's never taken it before,
and it's being kids.
Yeah.
Being kids. They'd be gone.
So I did a little bit of research after our last call because I was genuinely curious if I was wrong, because I always understood that time and period for there to be Mother's Little Helper to be speed. Turns out you were absolutely correct. Mother's Little Helper is volume. Valium, yeah. Not volume on your stereo, but Valium. And at the same time in history in America, we were also putting meth inside of products, which was giving people more energy. And so wives were basically speedballing. They were doing meth-based products as well as Valium, and they were cleaning their houses in this really happy state.
Okay.
Yeah, I wanted to know, so I did a little bit of research on it. I'm like, oh, so I was wrong, but also they were doing both. Okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Man, that sounds
like your heart's gonna explode. Yeah.
I want to know about that damn box Halloran had when he had the vision with his grandfather, and was that his father?
Yeah.
What's that box?
You would have to have read The Shining to know that. That's what I'm saying. There's so much that's in this that if you're not a huge King fan and have read a lot of his stuff, then a lot of these pieces are like, well, what is that supposed to mean? But Halloran's grandmother also has the Shining ability. And when Halloran's really young, she teaches him how to trap all his fear and dark thoughts and all the things, the negative memories, trap it in this box deep in his psyche and keep it locked away, keep it safe. Mm-hmm. And so what you're seeing is I don't want to call it his Pandora's box, because Pandora's box had all the emotions in it, but it's his fear was locked in there, and Pennywise was able to unleash it in this episode on him. So for the last 30 years, he's been keeping all this stuff stuffed in this box. And now Pennywise has just unlocked it and let all his fear out on him. So we'll see how that unfolds over the next couple episodes.
Well, we didn't even see how that happened.
What do you mean?
Because the whole time the grandmother's up there saying, "Don't open the box, don't open the box," and the father's trying to get him to open the box, but we never see him actually open it, do we?
Yeah.
We do.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, so at that point, it's no longer the grandfather. Pennywise is taken over. The eye goes to the side. The drool starts coming out. Very signature Pennywise stuff.
Was it right after the grandmother was shot?
Shoots her in the leg.
Yeah.
Bends over, grabs the lock, snaps it with his fingers, snaps the lock. You see the lock hit the ground, broken, shattered, bent as if with superhuman strength.
Okay, I recall that piece.
Then Halloran hits the ground and starts like freaking out, like laying on the ground as he slowly opens the box, and this gold, almost like the Ark of the Covenant,
but
gold light comes out.
Halloran doesn't open the box.
No,
is what I
Pennywise
was
opens
saying.
it on him.
That's what I was saying.
Yeah, Pennywise
Okay.
releases his fear onto him.
Because that's how he can help control people more. The more fearful.
More fear, the better he is, yeah. And again, I think there's a reason he took Halloran out first. Halloran is like, actually has a gift that gives him a threat. Yeah, makes him a threat. One thing I want to talk about real quick before I forget, and it's on my mind. When the shard's glowing and Lily's laying there, did you notice that the charm that was showing on her wrist was maturing?
No.
Yeah, it was the cosmic equivalent, the opposite, the turtle was showing. It basically the eternal war that Pennywise has always been in, chaos and order. He's order. And I thought for a second that's why he stopped. Because he saw the pendant and she had the protection like the Losers Club does.
Mm-hmm.
But then we very clearly realized that it's the shard. But I wonder if they clearly did that on purpose, right? Maturin put the shard or was using the shard to keep him away. So I thought that was a nice little touch. And I wanted to see if you had noticed it. Like, yeah, she has like remember like the Pandora charms that were really popular for a while that had all those little things on it? Mm-hmm. She has one on her wrist and it has the turtle right there that was facing towards Pennywise when he showed up. And I was like, oh, that's a nice little.
Yeah, she got that from Maddie.
Yeah. Yeah. So the episode leads on a pretty big cliffhanger too. We have Miss Kirsch coming to get the Major's wife to try and do their best to keep Ronnie's dad out of Shawshank and to protect him. But I have a feeling again that Kirsch isn't who she says she is, and she's going to end up being a catalyst of chaos for the entity itself. So next episode, we'll see. We got 3 more episodes. We got 8 episodes in this season, and we just finished episode 5.
I don't know. I'm still leaning towards the whole turtle thing that you were talking about. I'm still leaning towards that she's the good one.
Interesting. It'd be a hell of a twist because right now she's giving me very evil vibes, and all the fan theories online right now are that she is Bob Gray's daughter. So that we would be. I think I'd be pleasantly surprised, but I think it would also be one hell of a twist for sure.
It's happened before.
King is known for him, so let's see it.
Well, with other series too, like that wouldn't happen, and then it does happen. It's like, well, maybe it's just where things are going now.
I enjoy like when the showrunners and the writers and the producers are willing to push the envelope. I remember sitting through season 1 of Game of Thrones and being like, and obviously this is a spoiler, so over 10 years old, so I'm sorry if I ruin this for you. But sitting there in season 1 and being like, they're not going to kill Ned. There's no way. He's too important. He's too important of a character. Head off. I'm like, oh shit, this is a whole different show than I expected. Yeah.
I've watched majority of the movies, if not all. I never realized until discussing this with you, Welcome to Derry, how deep he is as an author. I never realized that before because I thought like I said, my only experience with him has been movies.
Yeah.
So I didn't realize how deeply everything's connected. Do they hint in other movies and stuff? It makes me want to go back and watch other Stephen King movies, see how they're connected as well. Like, one of my favorite ones was Cat's Eye.
Good one. Yeah. So there are, as far as I understand it, and trust me, there's hours and hours and hours of YouTube conspiracies on this shit that you can go down a rabbit hole on. As far as I understand it, all the literary works of Stephen King's are from one universe. Whether that's connected all together or there's threads that connect them, like, 5 degrees of separation kind of thing. They're all connected into one universe. But there's like your pinnacle ones that kind of control everything. Like Dark Tower is basically the central point that controls everything else. as far as I understand it, because the Dark Tower's purpose is to like keep peace across the land, right? Across the dimensions, across the different planes.
Oh, maybe I have read one book, Dark Tower.
Yeah. And Dark Tower is a series, right? I've read Gunslinger, which is like the first of the Dark Tower series.
That might be the one I read.
Yeah. I still have it paperback, like all tethered up from when I was a kid and reading it, but
Because I did get into the Dark Tower books.
they're great. Like some of King's best work is the Dark Tower series, like hands down.
For some reason, I never even thought that could have been a possibility of how it would link to this stuff.
Yep. Very interesting stuff. And the deeper you go down the rabbit hole, the more you're like, oh, that's cool. Let's see what else we got going on here. Yeah. So let us know what you guys thought of this episode in the comments below. Are you enjoying season 1 of It, Welcome to Derry? Has it been doing a good job? Are you happy that we finally got to see Bill Skarsgård in the infamous Pennywise makeup? And are you excited to see where this rest of the season goes? I know I am. Drop your answers in the comments below. Hit that like button if you enjoyed this video, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. But until then, we have plenty of other videos for you to watch right here. We'll see you on that video. Peace.
Find the strength hiding in each battle scar. You're not who you were, you've already come far.